So, in this video, I want to talk about be mindful when you want to have kids. A lot of people are not mindful about having kids. They have kids because they figure the rest of the world is doing it, of course, the typical thing to do. Or they might just want to have kids because they might be financially stable. Um, stuff like that. And people are not mindful about, number one, is that you have to be mindful that when you have kids, you might be that woman that have a divorce or split up with the dad, and you bring a new man around, which is called a stepdad, to your kids, and your kid might not accept it. They might not want it. They may not want another man around because they might be used to having a real father around, and that scarred the kids and put kids in a bad mindset. And you have to explain to them all sorts of stuff, and you know, and a lot of mothers, when that happens, they be selfish. They worry about themselves. And when you have kids and your kids are still in your house, no matter what age they are, you can't never be selfish. It's always about them. It's like a group decision, because you may pick something you like, and he might be kind and sweet and nice to you, but he's evil towards your kids, or don't like your kids, or don't like one of your kids, or favoritism towards your kids. So now you got a whole big problem situation. Before you want to date a man, you should see what the kids feel about him. If they comfortable, do they like him, do they not like him? And you really have to take everything in consideration and add everything up and make a decision. But a lot of women be selfish because they may be ready to mingle again, ready to have sex again, want a man in their life again, and it may cause a lot of problems. And I see a lot of kids don't like stepdads. And another thing too, a lot of stepdads come in the house and try to control the kids, try to make them do this and that, and the kid feel like you're not my real dad. I just met you. Why you telling me what to do? Stuff like that, mothers should put their feet on. They shouldn't allow to be talk to their kids like they real dad and say anything they want to, because a lot of kids have respect for their real parents, not parents that's not even theirs. And the same thing with the fathers too. A lot of fathers have no respect or care for the woman kids. They with the woman because maybe a financial thing, a sex thing, or whatever the case may be. So when you want to have kids, be mindful that that may happen to you. And do you want to put your kids through all that scarring and pain and fighting and destruction? That put your kids and yourself in a bad mindset. Another thing you want to be mindful is, don't trade on your kids. Like, a lot of women turn down their kids and push their kids away because they so in love with this man. And your kids is missing your affection, your love, your careness, the time they used to go out to places, to like malls or stores and stuff like that. And they miss things like that because now the kid feeling neglected because all your love is focused towards your man. And that could become jealousy in the child hating the father. So the father have to be a man. Hey, look, your kid miss you. I miss hanging out. Hang out with your daughter. Hang out with your son. We live together. I can see you when you get back. That's a man caring about the woman kids. If he ain't like that, then you shouldn't be with him. If he fighting against the kid, trying to control the kid, all this other stuff. Putting on the front, but faking behind closed doors. That's no person you want to be with at all. And that's how a lot of kids need love and careness and guidance these days. In this society, Parents is letting their kids raise up on video games, TV, videos, music, and stuff. They really ain't spending no quality time with their kids. But then they grow up like, oh, what did I went wrong with my kids? You ain't showing them enough love and affection. You have to be mindful when you have kids. They almost like y'all in a relationship where you have to maintain their physical thoughts. You know, their mental thoughts, their physical. Make sure they got clothes, food. Make sure they doing their homework. Make sure they not depressed, stressed out. Make sure if they hormones, if they having sex, all these different things that people don't think about, but they just have kids like it's not nothing. Like they don't have no hard job to do. And a lot of time, your kids is harder than the places that you work at. It's a maintain situation. So if you're not ready for all that responsibility, don't go having kids out of nowhere because the sex was good or you didn't care or all the other freaky stuff you like doing. Because at the end of the day, then when that sex is over, it fades away. Now you got all these problems and decisions, and you don't know how to handle them. And uh, that's something you should think about having kids. Another thing too, I talked about in one of my videos. I think it's called "I Can't Have Kids" or "I Don't Want to Have Kids." Please listen. I think that video. But you gotta think about you might have a kid that may be a prostitute, a killer, a thief, a liar. You may have a kid that kill you, hate you, hurt you. You gotta think about those things. It's life, man. Those thoughts comes in people's head. As long as we in this devilish world, those thoughts will pass people's heads and people's minds. You know what I'm saying? You might have a daughter that get pregnant early. And now you wishing you never have any kids. So you should be mindful and thought about, should I have a baby? Is it worth having a baby? People have babies too just to try to keep somebody. Keep somebody in their life that they losing. So they get pregnant, ain't ready to be a father, hate the kids. And a lot of times too, you gotta think about, okay, look at your future. Stop looking at the moment. People always cherishing the moment of how they feel now, today, instead of looking towards the future. Look at what's going on in your family. Look at what's going on in the relationship. Can you see it lasting? Can you see arguments happen? What you doing is you being observing mentally and physically in the spirit realm and, outside the spirit realm. You looking at the whole big picture. Instead of looking at the just the branches on the trees right here, you looking at the sky, the color of the leaves, stuff like that. You're looking at the whole big picture. And when people don't look at the whole big picture, they tend to fall and make tons and tons of mistakes. And you gotta understand when to get out of a situation. But when you have kids, it's hard to get out of a marriage or a boyfriend girlfriend situation because you have ties with each other like a rope, like a knot. So you want to be mindful of that. Also, the personality. It's a whole bunch of stuff that go into being with somebody and having kids and bringing a new man around the kids. If you have little girls, you can't bring different men around the house because they're watching, they observing. When children, their mothers and fathers are their role models. So whatever they see you do and how you act, they want to do. They want to be like. And then you get mad and have regrets like, oh, why you turn out like this? Don't be like me. You could say you could tell your kids, oh, hey, don't do the evil stuff that you do. Don't be like me. Be different. Go to school. You could tell them all day. But if they like what you do, if that spirit on you is going on them, and they become like you, I mean, it's their fault, but it's your fault as well to bad influence in them. So if you have little girls, don't bring tons of mans in the house. And they gonna do it. They gonna turn out having sex all the time, getting pregnant, getting abortions, and so forth and so forth. So yeah, that goes to show you the people that have kids now is not really mindful, or wasn't mindful of what they was doing when they choose to have kids, accident or not. So now, since you know this, you have somebody to explain it. In the future, make wise decisions. Don't just live in the moment and just have kids when you know you don't feel connected to a person or loved by the person or even want the baby in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a funny thing when the baby start coming out and you so angry, yelling at them, abusing them, all this other stuff. So you got all these problems that's outrageous, and it caused people to go astray from God. A whole bunch of different things. So be mindful when you lay down to have sex with a person. You talking about I want to have a baby and stuff for that. Yeah, them words sound good now into the prime head, to the hell on earth head. It's not so cute and sexy and horny now. When the problems hit, you wish you could take everything back. So yeah, be mindful of the kids. Also, your decisions have to be made for you and your kids, whether if they not old enough or not. It's their life you talking about. It's the way that you showing them life and situations that can really affect their lives. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video. That's all I really want to talk about. Thank you guys for watching. Glad to see you. See me next video.